So in filters, first we'll see what are these active filters. How many types are there in active filter? We can see the screen. So we'll start on with our active filters. So first important is an electric filter. We call it as an electric filter. Is what it is? It is a frequency selective circuit. Okay, it will select. That is what the filter means. It will filter what it wants. It will select what it doesn't want. It will be removed. So it is a frequency selective circuit that passes a specified band of frequencies and blocks or attenuates signals of frequencies outside this band. Outside this band, it will attenuate. Attenuate means it will stop. Okay. So it is a frequency selective circuit. That should be very clear. How many types of filters are there? We have analog or digital filter. We have passive or active. We have audio or radio frequency filter. First one is analog or digital, passive or active. So what are these advantages of active filter over passive filter? We'll see. The advantages of active is gain and frequency adjustment is very flexible in active filters. Active filters means our op-amp, using op-amp will be doing the filters. Okay, it is, and as you know, the gain can be it's very flexible, or it is, we can control gain by using the feedback resistors R1 and RF. So that is one of the advantage. Second is there is no loading problem. Why there is no loading problem? Because the input resistance of the op-amp is very high and the output resistance is very low. Ideally, how the input resistance is infinite and the output resistance is 0. Okay, and it is cost also. Cost, it is more economical. Cost is very less. And these active filters are used in the field of communication. When you want to communicate through satellites, okay, for signal processing, for radio, television, where there is long way the distance has to move. Okay, and there will be some frequencies for one channel, it will have different frequencies. So depending on that, these filters will be used. It is used in telephone, radar, space satellites and biomedical equipments, for all the medical fields. Okay, to receive the signal, to take the signals for examining from the patient. For all this active filters will be used, where certain frequencies will be taken and some frequencies which are not required will be filtered out. So the important active filters which we are going to study are a low pass filter. I have written as LPF here, low pass filter. Second is high pass filter. Next is band pass filter. The fourth one is band rejection filter, and the fifth one is all pass filter. Okay, it is not there. First three is there here for your syllabus. That is low pass filter, high pass and band pass filter. So first we'll move on with the low pass filter. For first going with the low pass filter, so before coming to this notes, we'll first see the diagram for low pass filter, then you will understand what is the frequency response. Okay, so these are the important frequency responses. The first one, the figure A, this represents the low pass filter frequency response. Okay, here the y axis we have gain and x axis we have frequency. So it is frequency versus gain, or gain versus frequency we have, and you can see the characteristic here. At some point, okay, the gain is constant till FH. This is the cutoff frequency FH, or higher cutoff frequency. And after this cutoff frequency, there is a one more band called stop band. That means the gain is decreasing here. See, the gain is decreasing. The solid line, the black line which they have shown here, the gain is decreasing after FH frequency. Okay, when F is greater than FH, we'll get a stop band. When F is less than FH, there is a pass band. That means all the frequencies which are within FH or inside FH, or all the frequencies which are from 0 to FH will be passed by this filter. This low pass filter will pass all that frequencies. Whenever the frequency gets increased, or if it is more than FH, that will be stopped. Okay, ideally the sound is just like a step. Completely it should stop, but practically what will happen? Then it will decrease in this way. This is the graph. It will decrease slowly. All of a sudden it will not come to zero. Ideally it should do that, but practically it will take some time. It will decrease in decibels and then come to zero. That is the gain versus frequency here. Pass band, when frequency is less than fh and when frequency is greater than fh, we call it as stop band. See, this fh can be designed by us. We can design it for 1 kilohertz, 2 kilohertz, and taking the formula we can design where the frequency depends upon resistor and capacitor. And as they have shown, this dotted lines is nothing but the ideal response. Ideally the filter has to respond like this, but practically it is responding. It will not decrease all of a sudden. It will take some time. In terms of decibels it will be decreasing, and all these filters will be plotting in semi-log graph where it will be 10 in terms of decades it will be taken to plot the response, that is gain and frequency response. Just this opposite of this is our high pass filter. Here also the gain versus frequency is written, and the frequency here is FL. Okay, that is the low frequency or low cutoff frequency. What is it? Starting it is stop band, then it is pass band. That means the frequency from 0 to FL will be completely stopped. The frequency when it increases FL, it will be passed. Okay, so that is the pass band, and this is whatever the square we have, this is ideal. Okay, that lines, but practically it will not start correctly at FL. Slowly it will be raising, then and the gain becomes constant here. So the gain is constant after the frequency is greater than FL. Okay, and here the gain is constant when the frequency is less than FH. These are the two important frequency response of the filters. The first one is low pass filter, and the second one is the high pass filter, where the gain versus frequency plotted. So, okay, this is the frequency response. Now we will see the nodes of it. After seeing the graph, you will understand it better now. So the ideal filter has zero loss in pass band and infinite loss in stop band. Okay, that is the ideal filter. And in filters we have three types here. We'll be studying three types. One is Butterworth filter, second one is Chebyshev filter, third one is Hausser filter. Three filters we have. So these filters are on this pass band and stop band. Now you understood what is pass and stop band. So in Butterworth, what will happen? Both the pass band and stop band both will be flat. Okay, there will be no ripples. A straight line will be. In Chebyshev filter, what will happen? The pass will have ripples. Okay, it will not be a straight line. Stop band will be flat. And in Hausser filter, what will happen? Both the pass band and stop band will have ripples. Okay, so these are how the filters we are divided here, and we will be studying only Butterworth filter. Butterworth filter design in both low pass and high pass. And as we have shown in the figure, the ideal response is shown by the dashed curves, and the practical is the solid lines. And the low pass filter has constant gain from where to where? From 0 Hz to FH. Okay, that is the high cutoff frequency FH. After FH, the gain will decrease. All of a sudden, it will not decrease. It will decrease in terms of decibels. And what will be the bandwidth? The bandwidth is also FH. At FH, the gain is down by 3 decibels. Okay, from 3 decibels. In terms of the 3 decibels, it will start decreasing. When F is greater than FH, what will happen? It decreases with increase in input frequency. Okay, what will decrease? Gain. Gain will decrease with increase in input frequency. That is what we have seen in the graph. I have shown here. See, the gain will be decreasing here. It is decreasing here. This frequency is called FH frequency. So the frequencies between 0 to FH is called passband frequencies, and beyond FH it is called stop band frequency. So whatever we have seen in the graph, that is put in the words here. This is all for the low pass filter. Next, we have seen the high pass filter. So what is this high pass filter? When the F is between 0 and FL, okay, from 0 to FL, this point, from 0 to FL, we call it as stop band. When F is greater than FL, so this is the pass band here, okay. This is pass band where gain is flat here, it is constant. FL is called low cutoff frequency and F is the operating frequency. So this low cutoff frequency will be here, okay, at this point. So it is frequency versus gain. This is about our low pass filter and high pass filter with its frequency response. On Y axis we have gain and on X axis we have frequency. Next we'll go on with band pass filter. The next two one are the band pass filter. So it has a pass band between two cutoff frequencies. So it is band of frequencies will be passed. So it is FH and FL, where FH is greater than FL, and two stop bands. Two stop bands will be between F will be between 0 to FL and F will be greater than FH. And bandwidth is FH minus FL. So this concept you will understand better when you will see the graph. I'll show you the graph for band pass filter now. Okay, the figure C. This figure C is our band pass filter. Okay, it is shown here. C is band pass and fourth one is band reject. So in band pass frequency, again Y axis is gain, X axis is frequency. See, from 0 to FL, from 0 to FL, okay, it is stop band. It will not pass the frequency. Again, from FL to FH, the frequencies will be passed. And when the frequency is above FH, then also the frequency will be stopped. So we have here two stop bands and one pass band. And one more thing, ideally the response should be square. Okay. Ideal response is it should be like this square. Oh, fine. But practically how it is happening? Practically is this dark lines. Slowly it will come. Okay. Slowly it will rise. Then it will reach to the peak. Then it will slowly decrease because of our passive elements here. Ideally response and practically response, both you have to put. So there in band pass filter, only certain band frequencies will be passed. That is the frequency between FL and FH. The frequency below FL and the frequencies above FH will be completely rejected. This is our band pass. Next, if you see the band reject filter, it will be just opposite of band pass. So certain band of frequencies will be rejected. Other than that, it will be passed. So the frequency is less than FL here. All these frequencies will be passed and the frequencies above FH also will be passed. The frequencies in between, that is from in between FL and FH, will be completely stopped. So that is called band reject filter. And ideally the dotted lines we have shown, that is the ideal response, but practically it will take the shape of this like half circle. It takes the shape. This is the band reject filter and this is the band pass filter. And one more thing, we have a center frequency here at the top, at the peak, that we call it as FC. FC is the center frequency for both band reject and band pass filter we have. So all the four filters are here. One is low pass filter, high pass filter, band reject filter and band pass filter, where it has certain cutoff frequencies. Now these filters can be designed because the filters depends upon resistor and capacitor according to the standard equation. I'll show you the equation. And you have to put all the ideal response and practical response of the filter. So after knowing the four filters, four active filters, these all are four active filters we have studied. The last one was the theory of a band stop is between FH and FL. So we have two pass bands here. There we had for band pass, we had two stop bands. Here we have two pass bands. And it is between 0 to FL and F is greater than FH. In all pass filter, there is a phase shift between input and output voltages. See, this is, it passes all the frequencies. Now this filter passes all frequencies equally well. That is, output and input voltages are equal in amplitude for all frequencies with the phase shift between the two a function of frequency. That is about the all pass filter. Just it will pass all the filters. That figure I'll show later. Next, we have the highest frequency up to which the input and output amplitude remain equal is dependent on unity gain bandwidth. Okay, if you go with the unity gain, then the output will just follow the input whenever we have gain as unity. One more thing, on what basis they will tell this order of the filter. Now we have seen that it is first order, second order, like this there will be n order filters. What are the basis, or on what basis they decide the order of the filter? It is given by the gain, the rate at which the gain of the filter changes. We have seen that in the frequency response graph, we saw that for low pass filter the gain is decreasing at 20 decibels per decade. Okay, that when it decreases at 20 decibels per decade, we call it as first order filter. Now if you want to increase that gain, okay, that gain should come down very fast. That means we have to increase the order of the filter. When it comes to the second order filter, then the gain decreases for 40 decibels per decade. Like that we can increase the order and bring that filter to the very nearly to the ideal response. Okay, by increasing the order. So first, for first order low pass filter, gain decreases at the rate 20 decibels per decade. Okay, for second order it is 40 decibels per decade. So for again first order high pass filter also it is 20, and for second order 40. As this order increases, the practical response of the filter will be coming very near to the ideal response. That is one important concept you have to remember, why this order is given for the filters. Okay, the first order filter will have only one capacitor and one resistor. As we increase the order, the second order will have two capacitors and two resistors. And see, this is the decrease of the gain. This is the low pass filter. This is the constant gain. Here the gain is decreasing. When this gain is decreasing, it is at 20 decibels per decade for first order. See, if you make it a second order, then the decrease will be very near to the ideal response. Okay, it will come for 40 decibels. If you go for third order, it will come for 60 decibels. So increasing the order will bring the filter very close to the ideal response. That you should remember. But they'll go for very precise filtering. If it is required, they will increase the order, but it will increase the circuit. Okay, so after this we'll move on to the first order low pass Butterworth filter. Okay, first after knowing all about the four filters, all the four filters, the equations of the response, frequency response. Next we'll see what is this first order low pass Butterworth filter. So Butterworth filter means its pass band and stop band both are in flat. Okay, the gain, whatever the gain is there, that is a straight line. So this low pass Butterworth filter, it uses RC network for filtering. So that is important. All the filters will be designed with this resistor and capacitor network. Okay, and this R1 and RF. R1 and RF are what? The feedback resistance. They will decide the gain of the filter. So to know this in detail, first we'll see the circuit diagram of the low pass filter. After this, we'll go with the circuit diagram. So this is the first order low pass Butterworth filter. Okay, circuit diagram. So we have a op amp. Okay, op amp we have, and we have R1 and RF are the feedback resistors, which is grounded, and there is a capacitor. Okay, this is important. This will help us for filtering. This is the RC network. So capacitor, which is connected to the positive, and the other end of the capacitor is grounded. Okay, and one end of the this is a pot. It is a variable resistor. It is connected. One end is connected to again the terminal positive terminal, that is 3, and the other end is connected to the input signal. This is our VN, which is grounded. Okay, and there is a feedback from the output to the input, that is a negative feedback is given and a load resistor is been put. So this is simple RC network, okay, RC network of first order. So we have only one R and C. Here how to design is, we have to go with certain frequencies, set the frequency as 1 kilohertz and select the value for R and C. For designing, what they'll do, they'll take C, they'll assume C. Always the designing goes, I have told, that C will be assumed. So assume C as 0.01 microfarad. Okay, take C as 0.01 microfarad and substitute in the equation and find the resistor R. That should be done. And this is the frequency response. We have seen already the frequency response of low pass filter. So this is the voltage gain versus frequency. So we have a pass band which slowly decreases at 20 decibels per decade. What is this 0.707 part of AF? That is 3 decibels down. At 3 decibels down, that F will be equal to FH. The frequency will be equal to the cutoff frequency. That point I will show you. First, now circuit diagram is clear and the frequency response is clear. Now we'll find out the value R. How we got the value R as 15.9 kilo ohm. So, okay, that depends upon the design. So we'll move on with the notes now. So what is the voltage? What is the voltage V1? V1 is nothing but the voltage across the capacitor. Capacitor was connected at the third terminal. So it is input voltage into voltage across the capacitor divided by sum of the that is R minus JXC. See, for capacitor always the reactance will be written as minus JXC. So minus JXC can be written as 1 divided by J2 pi FC. Okay. So substitute this 1 by J2 pi FC. You substitute wherever we have XC. So it will be 1 by J2 pi FC divided by R plus. Okay. Minus of minus will become plus 1 divided by J2 pi FC. So take J2 pi FC as LCM. It will get cancelled. So we'll be left out with V in divided by 1 plus J2 pi FRC. Okay. It will be multiplied with R. So this is the final term which we will be getting, V1. This is the voltage V1. So what is the output voltage? Output voltage is 1 plus RF by R1 into V1. Because the input is given for the non-inverting terminal. Non-inverting terminal gain is 1 plus RF by R1 into the voltage V1. So R1 into how much is V1? V1 is nothing but V in divided by, this is substituted here, V in divided by 1 plus J2 pi FRC. Okay, 1 plus RF by R1 is nothing but gain, that is AF. So V0 by V in, both the V0 by V in is nothing but gain. It is brought together. V0 by V in is equal to AF divided by 1 plus J2 pi FRC. And it can also be written as AF divided by 1 plus J into F by FH. FH is nothing but 1 by 2 pi RC. Okay, it is just put in the denominator. I will show you. AF is nothing 1 plus RF by R1, that is the pass band gain of the filter. And small f, only f is the frequency of the input signal, and FH is what? 1 by 2 pi RC is the high cutoff frequency of the filter. Okay, that FH is written here. See here, it is 1 RC. F is here only. FH is written as 1 by 2 pi RC. So these are the, so it is a filter, depends where the frequency is being selected here, and the frequency depends on R and C. So R and C can be used to design the filters. That is important. The gain, magnitude and phase angle. The gain, magnitude and phase angle of low pass filter is written like this. So V0 by V in is equal to AF divided by root of 1 plus F by FH whole square. That is the magnitude. Magnitude is nothing but you will take root of the denominator. So 1 plus F by FH whole square, and the angle pi is nothing but tan inverse of F by FH. That is the phase angle. The operation of the low pass filter can be verified from the gain magnitude equation. See, at very low frequencies, when f is less than fh, okay, when f is less than fh, the gain is nearly equal to AF. Okay, that is important. When at f is equal to fh, that is when frequency is equal to the high cutoff frequency, then the gain will become what? When you make here f is equal to fh in this equation, it will become 1 plus 1, it will be 2, it is root 2. Okay, it will be AF divided by root 2. So 1 divided by root 2, when you calculate, you get as 0.707 AF. Okay, this 0.707 AF only is shown in the frequency response in that curve that was shown there. Next, at f is equal to fh, three conditions are when f is less than fh, when f is equal to fh, when f is greater than fh, the gain will be less than, because gain will start decreasing here. So low pass filter has constant gain AF from 0 Hertz to fh, and at fh the gain is 0.707, and after fh it decreases at constant rate. So this concept should be very clear. I'll show you the graph and tell you. See, at f is equal to, okay, when f is less than fh, the gain is constant. Okay, here the gain is constant. When f is equal to fh, it is root 2, that is 0.707 AF. Okay, and after that the gain will start decreasing. So now you understood how you got this 0.707. It is nothing but 1 by root 2. When that will happen? When f is equal to fh. That is, the frequency is equal to the cutoff frequency. And we have found out the voltage V1 here. Okay, this voltage was found out by taking the input voltage V in, and output V0 is nothing but the gain, that is 1 plus RF by R1. Why it is 1 plus RF by R1? Because the input is given for the non-inverting terminal. So all these concepts are clear. The same thing is written from the textbook also. The equations are given here. So after fh, it decreases at a constant rate with increase in frequency. The same points are given. The voltage gain is divided by 10, that is the gain decreases 20 decibels or 20 log 10. See, all these frequencies will put in the semi-log. Okay, so they are taken in terms of decade. Each time the frequency is increased by 10. Hence the rate at which the gain rolls off after fh is 20 decibels per decade. So that is 20 decibels is written in terms of 20 log 0.707 is nothing but 3 decibels down. So that frequency we call it as the -3 decibel frequency or break frequency or corner frequency. These are the three names given for that frequency. So the filter design, now filter design, whatever this low pass filter we have seen, it depends upon three factors. So you have to choose a cutoff frequency FH, and you have to select a capacitor value which is less than 1 microfarad, and we have to calculate the value of R using the formula R is equal to 1 by 2 pi FHC. So FH is just exchanged, the cross multiplication is done. Finally, set values for R1 and RF. R1 and RF are nothing but the feedback resistors, and find out the pass band gain AF. So AF is equal to 1 plus RF by R1. So this is the design of low pass filter. The design of low pass filter depends upon the capacitor C, which is assumed. The value of C is assumed, and the resistor value is calculated for a frequency of like 1 kilohertz. You take if the frequency is for 1 kilohertz and capacitor value is 0.01 microfarad, then we'll get the resistance value as 15.9. That I will show for you in the next class. So today we have seen all the pass filters, okay, all types of filters, high pass, low pass, and band pass and band reject filters. Thank you.